Alright, only go down to Double Jeopardy. And the categories for this round are...
Flowers.
Flowers.
Theater around the world. 1960s TV. The Quasi-War
of France.
Compound
words. And finally...
And the Arctic Ocean. A lot of clues, a lot of categories.
Starting with theater around the world.
The musical Les Mis didn't debut on Broadway, but in this city, its setting. It's player one.
What is Paris?
Correct.
Theater around the world 800.
Okay, he directed a landmark Chinese production of his play Death of a Salesman at the People's Art Theater in Beijing. It's player one.
Who is Arthur Miller?
Yes.
Theater around the world for 1200.
A Dutch TV reality show picked the muscular swinger for the European run of this Disney musical. It's player one.
What is Tarzan?
That is correct.
Theater.
Please pick again. There's a method behind his founding of the Moscow Art Theater with Nemirovich Danchenko.
Player
Let's
two?
hear it, player two.
Who is Andre?
Sorry, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Konstantin Stanislavski. Player one. Here's Jimmy to start us off.
Performers in this traditional Japanese art of singing and dancing wear elaborate stylized makeup.
Player one.
What is Kabuki?
You.
Yep. Alright, that takes care of that category.
Please pick again, player
Compound words for 400.
This aromatic herb of the genus Nepeta will drive your feline crazy. Let's hear it, player
What
one.
is catnip?
Right.
Compound words for 800, please.
You again, player one. Swallowtail, viceroy, and monarch are types of this insect. Okay, player one.
What is a butterfly?
You got it.
Same category for 1200.
Select again. If you've gone this, you might have said something extreme or fallen from the Queen Mary.
What is overboard?
It's player one. Right.
1600 compound words.
Player one.
Answer, a daily double.
Excellent. The first of the two daily doubles. And you're in the lead now. Player one, please
4,000.
select your wager. Here is your daily double clue. Looking for a needle in one of these is a metaphor for an impossible search.
What is a haystack?
Congratulations,
Yep.
You're still in first, player one.
It's 18,000, let's go
You
again.
get to pick in days of yore, women sometimes rode in this style, meaning both feet on the same flank of the horse.
What is side
Player
saddle?
one. Good.
Yes. Well done in that category. I'm at
Please pick again,
$20,000.
player one.
1960s TV for 400.
First aired on September 30th, 1963, Opie the Birdman has become a classic episode of this sitcom. It's player one.
What is the Andy Griffith Show?
Yes.
60s TV for
Player
800.
one. The never-used lyrics of its theme song were written by Gene Roddenberry. Yes, player two.
What is Star Trek?
That is correct.
All right.
You're out of the
Yeah,
hole.
that's it.
A lot of clues, a lot of categories.
60
Player
TV,
two.
1200.
Make us a...
Answer there. The other daily double.
Sorry?
And
The
you can
second
risk
daily
up to
double.
2,000.
You're in second place, so what is your wager
All right,
going
just
to be?
500.
What are you going to wager?
Here's your clue.
All right, here's your clue. On The Addams Family, Ted Cassidy played not only Lurch, but this disembodied hand as well.
Who is Fing? Yeah, that's right.
Player two, back to you for our next selection. On August 29th, 1967, he finally caught up with the one-armed man. Player two.
Who is Richard Kimball? Yes. All right.
You get to pick again, player 2.
Arctic Ocean for 4.
The shortest way to sail to the Arctic Ocean from Nome, Alaska, is to go north through the strait named for him. It's player 1.
Who is Vitus Bering?
That is correct.
Yep. Bering Strait. 60s
Player
TV
1,
2000.
make a selection, please. In 1964, Mary Tyler Moore won her first Emmy as this new Rochelle housewife. Here's the response we were looking for. Laura Petrie.
Laura Petrie.
Select again.
Arctic Ocean 800.
The spiral tusk of this cetacean that inhabits the waters of the Arctic Ocean may reach a length of 10 feet. Yes, player 1?
What is the narwhal?
Good for you.
Yes. Arctic Ocean for 1200.
Player 1? In the early 1770s, England's Samuel Hearne became the first European to reach the Arctic Ocean overland from this bay. Okay, player 2.
What is Hudson Bay?
Good for you.
Yes.
Player 2, you start us off.
Arctic for 16.
The Arctic Ocean's deepest point, about 17,880 feet, lies just north of this country's Svalbard Islands. Okay, player 3.
What is Sweden?
Sorry, that's wrong.
No, not Sweden.
Anyone else? Let's hear it, player 2.
What is Russia?
No, that's not right.
That's wrong too.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player 1.
What is Norway?
You are correct.
And let's finish the category.
Okay, on August 3rd, 1958, this nuclear-powered submarine became the first to cross the North Pole under the ice. It's player 2.
What is Nautilus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Player 2, you start us
Okay,
off.
flowers for 4.
This country isn't out of kilter, with the thistle as its national flower.
What
Okay,
is Scotland?
That's it. Where do we
Flowers
begin?
800.
On March 22nd, 1994, the Dutch ambassador to the United States gave her a new tulip named for her. Yes, player 1?
Who is Hillary Rodham Clinton?
Right you are.
All right.
Please pick. Singularly speaking, the bright blue cornflower is known as this button. It's player 3.
That's the blue bonnet.
Sorry, that's
no,
wrong.
that's wrong.
Anyone else? Here's the correct response. The bachelor button.
Bachelor button. Okay.
Player 1. Here's Jimmy with the clue.
Also called galanthus, it's among the earliest garden flowers to blossom in spring.
Here's the correct response. The snowdrop.
Snowdrop.
Player 1. Bloom forms of this large hardy perennial include spoon, quill, and pompon. Here's what we wanted. The chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum. One category left.
Pick again.
Quasi-war with France for 12.
USS Constellation beat both La Vengeance and L'Insurgente in this sea, where the U.S. enjoyed a home field edge. We're talking about the Caribbean.
Caribbean Sea. Let's go for
Please
2000.
pick again. In October of 1797, the United States met with agents of France known by these 3 code letters. Yes, player 2.
Or X, Y, and Z.
Good.
Yes, those are the letters.
Player 2, where do we start?
400.
On June 21st, 1798, this president told Congress he was going to break off relations with France. It's player 1.
Who is Thomas Jefferson?
Sorry, that's
Nope.
wrong.
But I
Anyone
still
else?
got a lot of money though, so it doesn't really matter to me at this point.
We're talking about John Adams.
John Adams.
Player 2, choose again.
800.
Preparations for war included adding ships like the USS Constitution, nicknamed this in the War of 1812.
Well, player 3 is not going to be able to participate in Final Jeopardy.
Here's the response we were looking for. Old Ironsides.
Old Ironsides. Alright, one clue
And
left
we'll
for
wrap up the board
1600.
with
Let's have a
this
look at
clue.
it.
The rally cry of the Americans during the fight was millions for this, but not 1 cent for tribute. Here's the correct response. Defense.
Defense was what we needed. Alright, at the end of that round, I have 24,000, player 2 5,700, and player 3 in the
Only
red
2 of you
minus
will be going on to
3,600,
Final
so
Jeopardy.
player 3
Sorry
is
for
not
that.
eligible to participate in Final Jeopardy.
Consider your wagers carefully as you think on this category. Midwest topography. So, what's your wager?
I'll go for 2,000.
All right, players.
All right,
this
here's
is
our
what it
Final
comes down
Jeopardy
to.
answer.
Here is the Final Jeopardy clue. This state has the largest sand dunes complex in the United States, just north of a river named for its flatness.
What is Nebraska?
Let's
All
see
right,
your
player
response.
2, what state did you select?
With that
You
correct
said
response,
Nebraska,
you
and
will
you're
be-
right. You double your score to 11,400.
Did you come up with the correct response?
So that means I'm right, also with
and
Nebraska.
that correct response.
And I risked 2,000, so I go up to $26,000, and
Congratulations
that
to you.
is enough to get me victory.
So long,
All right,
everybody.
good game, good game. And we will see you for the next segment.